So maybe you're approaching middle school or high school especially, and you want to outsource one or more of your homeschool classes. You hit Google and you put it in and find that you get millions of results if you search for online homeschool classes. Maybe you ask around local friends, but no one's really used them, or you get the same one over and over. Where do you go? Today, I'm going to share with you 5 online places to try. Now, a couple of these have classes for elementary kids, but most of them are like a middle school, 6th grade or so and up. For the younger kids, there's a lot less out there, in part because, as we've seen from the last year, in keeping young kids engaged online in a live classroom can be difficult. Also, I believe all of these are live classes. Yes, one of them has a self-paced, but all of the other ones I'm going to mention are live classes. So the first one is a site called Learning Outside the Box. Now, I've come across this one, I think it was through the Homeschoolers Facebook group, which is a great group, middle school, high school version of it. And this is just like social studies type courses. It's for 5th grade and up, and they are semester courses, but not quite a full semester. Let me clarify. I think a couple of them are full semester, but some of the other ones are more like a 10 to 12 week semester. What I like about this one is that it has some interesting courses like Introduction to Philosophy. That's not something you see for high school very often. Mission Possible. This one was like a group team type of class where your students basically learn like what it would be like to build or to lead a mock country. And so be a mock leader. And I think it would be really interesting to explore all of that and the different aspects of it. And they had another one that would be really fun, would be a comparative science fiction course. So if you have a sci-fi lover, this might be a great option for you. Next one is called Next Level Homeschool. This one does have a couple of options for early elementary, 7, 8, ages 7 and up, but most of them are more like a middle school or high school. This one, something they have that's nice, they have a lot of summer courses. They also have a lot of short-term courses. Most of them are full semesters, but some of them are just a shorter one. And they have some really fun-looking classes like Harry Potter genetics. So looking at genetics using Harry Potter as the theme. There's also one on the language of Harry Potter where you dig into the etymology of Harry Potter, but more specifically the Latin. 7 Wonders of the Ancient World, History of Food, Comparative Mythology, Medieval Technology, Shakespeare and Pop Culture. Some really interesting courses that sound like they would be super engaging. This is also just a starting point for you. I don't expect necessarily that any of these might be a great fit, but they may help you narrow down what it is you do want. Or maybe you'll be lucky and one of these will be a great fit. The next one is the only one on my list that is a Christian school. And it's called the Potter School. And it's one of the oldest online homeschools that I know of. They started back in 1997, which seems forever ago. I can't imagine what the technology was like trying to do it then. And I don't want to say they cater to missionary families, but I know that they have a focus and a heart for missionary families. So, and other families that are stationed outside of the U.S., which I think is kind of a nice little focus. But like I said, this is the only one on here that is a Christian school. This is also the most traditional one. Classes start with 5th grade and go through high school. And because of its focus of kind of catering towards families who are living away from the United States and likely have more limited resources available or easy to obtain resources, they follow a pretty traditional setup as far as like the flow of your classes. There are not a lot of really unique ones, such as like medieval technology. It's really geared towards meeting those those standard requirements for college or that kind of thing. So world history, U.S. history, geography, like just kind of a standard flow. Now, my daughter took Spanish with them a few years ago, Spanish 1, and she enjoyed it. Something that was nice, they have Spanish 1 can be divided up over 2 years. So if you have a student who might need a slower introduction to languages, they have 3, I think, that do that. So that's an option. But with their courses, that they're just very just traditional path. Nothing wrong with that. I don't mean that negatively. It's just, if you're looking for just kind of a traditional path of setup of your classes, check out the Potter School. Next one is Global Academic Productions. And this one really intrigued me. It is for high school, and the courses are only in the social studies. So there's U.S. history, world history, AP human geography, government, and econ. Yes, government and econ. I'm getting old enough now that I definitely have to have some readers, even at this distance. So that's been an adjustment. I can never keep track of mine, which, if you've watched my channel, probably doesn't surprise you that I'm losing such things. Anyway, Global Academic Productions, they have live classes. They also offer self-paced courses. So this is the one that I mentioned that was not live. I also have a flex one. The flex one is kind of a blend of the two. So you do your work on your own, but there's a structure for when things are due. So if you have a student who the schedule for the live classes isn't going to work, but needs that accountability of having things with set due dates and such, this flex course might be a great option for you. We did that through the Well-Trained Mind Academy last year for my daughter for her biology lab, just the lab part. And it worked out really well. Like, the video was released the same time each week. She had a due date the same time each week, but she could watch the video anytime that she needed. So for us, that was a great option. Now, if you are looking for an honors or an AP course, the Potter School does offer both of those. The next one I'm going to mention, Blue Tent Online, also has AP courses, and the Global Academic Productions is not labeled as an honors course, but I would take a serious look at it and see how it would, if it would count for you. Because based on what I looked at, I think it would. They do have, their human geography is an AP course. The other ones are not labeled anything, but you might want to check out that and take a look. So the next one, Blue Tent Online. This one is just for high school students, and it is it's a pretty traditional one. A traditional math sequence, literature and composition sequence, science sequence, history sequence, your main course subjects in a pretty traditional setup. And if you want 5 more online suggestions, go check out the video that's on your screen right now. And that was part of a series I did a couple years ago, where I also gave you 5 different suggestions for a variety of subjects. So go check out that video in that series, and I will see you in the next one.